Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I feel like this might be a shorter video because I saw that I had some clips on my phone. I was filming something kind of like showing one of the bags that I got for my knitting, and I don't know how much how many more minutes I have on for the storage, because I was also gonna, I guess it's like doing a little bit of a rant. I know I talk about stuff in the beginning of the video and sometimes like throughout the video, but I feel like there is some relevant energy there. So, and before I start the reading, I wanted to say that this is the most major arcana type of reading that I've had for, if it's been a long time, I don't remember another time that it's been this heavy, because I don't use a lot of cards for these types of spreads. I do get extra cards, but in general, for what it is, there's a ton of major arcana. And one of the things that that was in my head for a while, and before what I'm gonna say happened, was that like sometimes we go through life embracing the red flags, and it's something that feels so tangible, or something that we feel like we would want to have in our lives. And I'm not saying that you won't have a certain person or moment, but I feel like it's one of those things where if you dream and you wish for something big, or you dream big, and or for anything, and it doesn't come true, it just means that something is better for, or more suitable and meant to be for you, if you want to think about it like that. And we're constantly changing and doing these things in life where one moment it's like this, and then in a second it's different. So earlier today, well, I was asking my dad to ask my brother if I could stay while my godparents painted the house inside. And my godmother came home. She wasn't necessarily coming home late. She came back since she was away recently, and she goes places and then comes back, as you do. And I figured that it might not have been like it either would have happened or wouldn't have happened at that time, because sometimes she tells me something and then it's like it never mind. So I figured that, and I even said it was like kind of up in the air, and then there was like this irritation. I was kind of like wasn't going to have what happen, like, I guess in the past, where my dad, I feel like it was a little easier to get his affections more, but he was going on, and it's not the first time that he has said it or that my mom has said it, that like, you're a burden, or you can't stay here. And it's not just with like my godmother, it's like with different people. And even when I was in relationships too, you can't like give yourself or like put yourself out there for them. And so I didn't hold my tongue back, and then my dad just kind of like grazed over, because I am my father's daughter and he is as hard-headed as me. So he was gonna have my brother and I sort out when it would happen. And so I could see where they're coming from in terms of like staying somewhere and like being an extended stay type of guest. But at the same time, I like, as soon as like maybe I would try to go, it's like my godmother would want me to stay, especially with me moving. She wants me to stay, and I didn't really say anything, but I'm also seeing how to respond, because I don't feel right breaking someone's heart when the person has never broken my heart, if you will. And I mean, it's interesting because I do help out too, and sometimes it's random, but she does say I love you, which is, sometimes I am speechless because it does come out of nowhere. And then she says it with enthusiasm, as if like she's talking to a toddler. And then sometimes by the time I respond, I don't, she's already finished with the conversation. And even when I don't say a lot of stuff, she kind of already understands that I don't really talk, or there's other things that happen behind the background for maybe why I do the things the way that I do. So there isn't too much like pushing that. And I mean, today she was trying to see, like, there's an art, I don't know if it's like, because she wants to help me showcase my art. And we were in the car, she was, because I had to drive her to a couple places, and she was trying to find out what the number was and everything for what she was thinking about. And so and it's like the regular things too, because I feel like I'm drawing a blank right now, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's like a natural thing for her to let me know that she has made food for me. So it's those types of things. But it kind of feels like, as I was saying in the beginning, energy, where we strive to have a belonging in a certain area of our life, and even if that part of our life is still relevant or still technically a part of our life, it doesn't need to be the heavy fixation. There was the 5 of Wands that came out in the last 2 readings, and it seems like that could also be an energy of like either a person's, there's like a dominating fixation type of energy, hyper focused on something, that maybe the focus can go to other things, and maybe that's like one of the benefits or the lessons of this part of life, where because I see so much major arcana here, and it's that thing that we make adjustments to it, it just makes the biggest difference, because we take away those shackles and we realize that we don't have to cater to this anymore. We don't have to keep striving for that type of belonging. And it's that understanding and acceptance that really expands the mind and expands everything, because it's just fucking everything. The cards that I was getting in the beginning, and it's at 10 minutes. I hope I have enough room for this. Otherwise, I might do part 1 and part 2 again. Because you have the Judgment card, Major Arcana, with the Death card, Major Arcana. And with the Judgment card, it honestly kind of feels like the winning side of life at this point, because the Judgment card is towards the end of the Fool's journey, and it's right before the World, and you do get the World in this reading too. And then it backtracks to 13, which is Death. And death can be ending something, and then in that case it ends up changing, because what was evident before isn't, or relevant before isn't relevant right now. And we do carry those memories, and we carry those things that made things so tender. I feel like it also links to euphoric memory, like when you remember something or maybe someone that I'm thinking about my cat, but you kind of have like almost in like heavenly type of memory where it's gleaming and everything just feels so right in that, but then it hyper focuses, but then it's not focusing on the other parts. I mean, it could be the other way around too. And this could be like with relationships. It was interesting. Sorry, I have many drinks in here that I have to throw out the bottle of, or can. But I saw, it was a while ago, and I wasn't like specifically looking out for this. It just like came up, and I thought it was funny. It was like when people need to clarify the type of single that they are, and again, I'm not like linking it to myself in that way. I just thought it was funny. And it was like, are you like single, are you single but you still live with your ex-husband or your ex-wife, or are you single and then you're still in love with your ex, or you're single but you're just working on yourself and doing you, and so you're not like looking for anything, and it's just like, or the situationship type of single. So there's just so many possibilities. And then, as I said, humans, our lives are complex, and there's so many variables that when we have death in our lives, since it's major arcana, I would say it's more of a definite death instead of just like one of those small things where it doesn't really affect your life. I feel like I keep saying like life or lives, so I feel like it could be multiple, and it could be like one, like an individual energy too, that it's more than surface level, because it's almost like a plague, and it just doesn't like swoop up and get one person. And it's like a part of it is understanding that death is always there. It's not something that you run away from. So if you have those memories, there's something about putting it to rest, or like making sure that you don't need to harshly end it, but you need to realize that there's other things that you need to live for in order to survive the days. And it doesn't need to be so drastic, but it can be super drastic. Since, again, it's Major Arcana, you have other Major Arcana cards here too. You have the Wheel of Fortune Major Arcana, the Moon Major Arcana. And the Sun is in this reading. So there's counterpart type of energy. So the Wheel of Fortune, it does feel like a casino where you keep doing the thing with the slots. And I don't know if there's any type of pattern that the machine has, but just to say that it's a game of chance where it could go one way or the other way. And with the Moon, there's just that, again, heavy, like, emotional and mental fixation that was there with the Death card, and finally putting those realizations together. So there is that entity that I feel like becomes present, and it's like a personality in itself, where, like, as I was saying I love you, it's not something that is, I mean, that I've heard that said often. And I feel like you really look at the situation, you look at the person or the everything, and just for me, sense that this person actually meant it, and it's not a person that would just say something in public and then behind closed doors be like,